Welcome back to our journey into the heart of the forgotten Indus Valley civilization. In our last episode, we uncovered the very first whispers of this lost world. Today, we're diving deep into what makes Harappa truly mind-boggling. Its cities. Imagine 5,000 years ago, while much of the world lived in scattered, rudimentary settlements, the Harappans were building metropolises that would look surprisingly familiar even to us today. This isn't just about mud huts and campfires. This is about a level of urban planning that was thousands of years ahead of its time. So, let's peel back the layers of dust and explore the modern cities of antiquity. When archaeologists first unearthed the ruins of cities like Harappa and Mohenjo-daro, they were stunned. What they found wasn't a chaotic jumble of buildings. Instead, they discovered cities built on a precise grid system. The streets ran in straight lines, intersecting at perfect right angles, creating a neat, organized checkerboard pattern. This wasn't accidental. It was the result of sophisticated, centralized planning. Think about it. Cities in Europe would unsee this kind of organized layout for another 2,000 years. With the Romans, the Harappans were true pioneers of urban design. A typical Harappan city was divided into two main sections. First, you had the citadel. Perched on a raised mound of earth, this area was the city's nerve center. It was heavily fortified with massive brick walls, suggesting it housed the ruling elite, the priests, or the administrative headquarters. It was a place of power and ceremony, looking down upon the rest of the city. Below the citadel lay the second section, the lower town. This was where the majority of the population lived and worked. But don't picture a slum. This was a sprawling, well-organized residential area, with homes and workshops all neatly aligned along those grid-patterned streets. The uniformity is striking. Across hundreds of miles, from one city to another, they used standardized, baked bricks. The bricks were all made in a consistent ratio of 4:2:1, a level of standardization that hints at a strong, unified governing body overseeing construction across the entire empire. This wasn't a collection of independent towns. It was a cohesive civilization with a shared blueprint for life. Now, let us talk about something that might seem mundane, but is actually one of their most revolutionary achievements. Sanitation. The Harappans were obsessed with cleanliness and water management. While other ancient cultures were still struggling with basic hygiene, the Indus people had developed a complex and incredibly effective sanitation system that would be rivaled until the Roman Empire, and in some parts of the world not until the 19th and 20th centuries. Almost every house in the lower town had its own private bathroom and a dedicated washing area. These weren't just holes in the ground. They were proper facilities, with floors made from tightly fitted bricks to prevent seepage. And here's the most incredible part. Wastewater from each house didn't just get thrown into the street. It flowed from the home through a clay pipe or a chute built into the wall, and emptied into a covered, brick-lined drain that ran alongside the main street. These main drains were like underground sewers, carefully constructed with a gentle slope to ensure water flowed away from the city. They were even built with removable slabs or manhole covers at regular intervals, so city workers could access them for cleaning and maintenance. Imagine a municipal sanitation department. 5,000 years ago. This system kept the streets clean, prevented the spread of disease, and speaks volumes about their understanding of public health. It shows a society that valued order, hygiene, and the well-being of its citizens to an astonishing degree. They weren't just building houses. They were engineering a healthy, livable environment for thousands of people. Dominating the citadel of Mohenjo-daro is one of the most iconic structures of the ancient world. The Great Bath. This wasn't just a swimming pool. It was a masterpiece of engineering, measuring about 12 meters long, 7 meters wide, and over 2 meters deep. This colossal tank was built with layers of finely fitted bricks. To make it completely waterproof, the builders used a thick layer of natural bitumen, or tar, on the floor and sides, a technique that works so well. The structure still holds water today if filled. 2 wide staircases descend into the pool from either end. Surrounding the bath was a series of small rooms, some with their own bathing platforms. What was its purpose? Most scholars believe the Great Bath wasn't for recreational swimming. Given its prominent location in the citadel and its monumental scale, it was likely used for important religious rituals. Perhaps it was a place for ritual purification, where priests or rulers would cleanse themselves before performing ceremonies. It represents a focal point of the community's spiritual life, a place where water, a precious resource, was elevated to a sacred status. But the Harappans didn't just manage water. They also managed food on an epic scale. Next to the Great Bath in Mohenjo-daro stood another massive structure, the Great Granary. While much of its wooden superstructure has long since decayed, its foundation reveals a truly impressive design. It consisted of a solid brick base with a network of air ducts and ventilation channels running underneath. This clever design would have allowed air to circulate freely, keeping the stored grain dry and preventing it from spoiling due to moisture and pests. The sheer size of the granary suggests that the city stored enormous quantities of surplus food, likely grain like wheat and barley, collected as taxes from surrounding farmlands. This wasn't just a pantry, it was the economic heart of the city. A full granary meant security. It meant the administration could feed the population, support non-agricultural workers like craftsmen and priests, and withstand periods of famine or drought. The existence of such a large, sophisticated storage facility points to a highly organized agricultural system and a powerful central authority capable of collecting, storing, and distributing resources on a massive scale. The cities of the Indus Valley were marvels of their time. They show us a civilization that valued order, precision, and the well-being of its people. From Tigrid-like streets and standardized bricks to the incredible private bathrooms and citywide sewer systems, the Harappans were master builders and brilliant urban planners. The Great Bath and the Great Granary stand as testaments to their ability to organize both the spiritual and economic life of their society on a monumental scale. They engineered a world of unprecedented comfort and stability. But for all their practical genius, a deep mystery remains. These structures tell us how they lived, but they don't fully explain why. What beliefs drove them to build the Great Bath? Who were the powerful leaders who commanded the construction of these vast cities? We've seen their public works, but what about their private lives, their art, their beliefs? Clues may lie in the thousands of tiny, enigmatic objects they left behind. Their seals. In our next episode, we will attempt to decipher these mysterious symbols and unlock the secrets of the Harappan mind, exploring their art, trade, and the spiritual world that guided this forgotten empire. Thank you for joining me on this exploration of Harappan city life. If you're fascinated by these ancient mysteries, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you won't miss part 3. See you next time.